much about that delay. Anyway, so I'm making another video, and the video link is inside the description. So I was watching this video today. It's called Awesome Mahone Lady. Came out in 2017. And this video reminds me a lot of someone that I know, and they are very blessed genetically, and they used to be very good at approaching women. And this is basically kind of like a kind of glimpse of how I view this person, seeing their interactions with people. So they're good looking, they are very smooth, and they're very charismatic too. So this is just like a small clip. So basically what people would consider to be a attractive person, charismatic, but the problem with them, and this is something that a lot of people face as well, is that they have been going through depression. And when I saw this video today, it kind of triggered me because I thought I know that they're going through some really hard times mentally, and they've been gaining weight, and they've been letting themselves go. And I reached out to them and I asked them, "Hey, like what's going on basically?" And they told me that they're going through some stuff. And I asked them, I didn't want to be offensive, but I basically wanted to know, like, why are they not taking care of themselves? So their hair used to be like this. It used to be very well styled, they were very clean cut, very, like I said, something like this. And to see someone go from what I perceive to be as all the women, oh, not all the women, but a lot of women want them, um, to a person who wants to be physically unattractive, so they repel others, it's really been heartbreaking. And I reached out to them and I sent them this video. I sent this video to them back in 2017 because it reminded me of them. And just by coincidence, I watched this video today. I've been on this whole Charlie Puth, Shawn Mendes kind of pop kick on the side, auto playing stuff. And yeah, I sent this video to them and I told them basically, I know you're going through some really rough times, but I don't want you to lose sight of the kind of person that you are. And you're a person, in my opinion, that really took care of themselves. And I hope that you go back on track eventually because you have a lot of potential, you have a bright future. And that's basically what I said. And they didn't reply to me. There's a time difference between here and Hawaii, but I know people that when they get depressed, they start gaining weight. Again, they start letting themselves go. I am one of those people that when I get really stuck in my head, I don't care about myself. And to see a person not take care of themselves and not and go out of their way to look more physically unattractive, it really hurts me to see this because I see how they were before and I see how they are now, and it really makes me sad. And I shared with you previously in my previous stream about Jordan. Jordan was the person that I gave a makeover to. He had low self-confidence, he wore clothes that were too big. He he got he started taking care of himself. He looked good. He felt good. He was very confident, but he was cocky, and that's why we stopped talking. After we stopped talking, stuff happened in his life. He let himself go, and I could see based in the photos that it looked like he lacked the confidence that he used to have. And I think part of it is that when you are struggling with depression, you feel like crap, and then when you look in the mirror, you look like crap, and then it starts becoming like a cycle, a self-fueling cycle. And it's important to break out of it. And I really feel that one of the ways to break out of it is start loving yourself a little bit more. Start taking care of yourself a little bit more. And then you'll start to see little positive changes in yourself. And then you'll be able to have more confidence or more strength to get out of it. And depression, in my opinion, it's usually tied with feelings of like worthlessness or low self-confidence, and just doing small little actions, positive actions, can really make a difference to snap someone out of depression. Hi, washing washers. So that's again, if you know anybody who is in depression right now, I highly encourage you to encourage them to just do small little steps for them to elevate themselves. I think that as a society, if we see someone faltering, we should reach out a hand and we should say, "Hey, I noticed that you're going through a tough time. Is there anything that I can do to help? This is I really feel like you should get back on track," and then just, provide words of encouragement. And I think sometimes maybe if you communicate that and they see someone say, "Hey, I noticed that you've been falling a little off track. I like, I think that you should take care of yourself a little bit more because you have so much potential, or this is, like you are not, you're going down a dark path, and I don't want you to get stuck in that path." It kind of encourages them to go back on the right path. And life is so short. Life is so short that I think that when people spend an extended a period amount of depression, when they get out of that depression, they look back and they're like, what the hell happened did I do with all that time? I know for me, there's been times in my life, like I kind of blanked out. I just went on autopilot and I didn't have self-confidence at all. I mean, right now you can see that I am trying to constantly, do small changes, work on my hair, work on my makeup. I'm trying to look a little better. But it's not that I think that we can always take steps to look better, but I don't, how would I put it this way? Like if I walk out of the street right now with no makeup, I don't really care. It's just that I think I can do better. And that whole thing about seeing potential in oneself and then knowing that there is potential, it's a different mindset than, like, how you look like right now. You put on nicer clothes, right? You know that you have the ability to look nicer if you put on nicer clothes, and then that'll boost your self-confidence. But for some people, when they get stuck in depression, they lose sight of that. They just think, they don't remember that if they spend more time on themselves, they'll look better, and then they feel better, and then they have confidence. So seeing a person who used to be so confident, so charismatic, and now they're just kind of stuck in their head because of reasons. I don't specifically know all the reasons. They kind of go in and out of speaking to me, just because it's like certain things they don't want to share. And I think that sometimes when people are depressed, they don't really want to let it all out. And I understand. I completely understand. Sometimes things can be embarrassing, or they just don't feel comfortable with that kind of thing. So it is important to give them space as well. But it is also important to let a person know who is depressed, "Hey, you know what? I support you. I just want to let you know that I see a lot of potential in you, and you can get back on track." Am I happy right now? I am happy that I'm moving in a forward direction. I I'm happy that I'm now, instead of like looking at things, I can see things and then say, "Hey, you know what? I want to be closer to a certain image that I've always wanted to have for myself." So for instance, you guys know, like my hair, I'm like, "Oh, for frick's sake, my hair, I don't have that much volume in my hair right now. My hair's short because I cut my hair. I would like to have longer hair." So what I did is I bought this like hair extension ponytail, and it's fake hair. It's like a little clip-on hair thing. But I thought, you know what? If you wanted Erica, just paid, like, I think it was like 12, $13. I was like, just buy the clip-on ponytail and see if you feel like you look better because of it. And without the ponytail, it's no big deal. But I just like having that little extension because I kind of miss having longer hair. One thing about long hair is it's nice, but it takes so long for it to grow out. My hair takes forever and ever and ever to grow out. So waiting for my hair to grow naturally is going to take me years. I'll probably be 37 before my hair grows out how it was back in 2019 or so. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys. I know this is a shorter video, but I think it was an important video to share. A lot of people are struggling right now mentally, and sometimes I think people lose focus of themselves, and they I've said this before, they just get so stuck in their head. And the scary thing about depression is it can snowball. It can really snowball. You have an issue, and then you just magnify it and magnify it and magnify it. It makes really a mountain out of a molehill. And when people let themselves go more and more, let's say they gain 5 pounds and 10 pounds and 20 pounds and 30 pounds, it's very hard for people to get back up on track sometimes. And sometimes, depending on how much they let themselves go, like some people, they might gain like 40 pounds, right? After they gain 40 pounds, they'll say to themselves, I can't believe I let myself gain 40 pounds. I'm so depressed. They don't do anything about it. Then they gain 50 pounds, 60 pounds, 70 pounds. And it's completely understandable. It is completely understandable. So it's important to put a stop as quickly as possible and just say, hey, you know what? I got to get back on track. Even though I gained like a bunch of weight, at least I can put a stop to it and then go back to where I was before or higher. People need to constantly just keep that in mind, because as someone who has dealt with depression for a number of years, time goes by really quickly, and then I look at it and I'm like, man, what could I have done with all that time if I just didn't get lost in my head? So I'm happy that I reached out to this person, and I hope they get back to me. And I have confidence that they'll go back on track. I'm really, when I go back to Hawaii, because I haven't seen Hawaii in like over a year. I like to have lunch with this person, and have lunch with a whole bunch of people, and then find out, how people been doing. How is the situation affected them? And some people, I noticed that their minds have gotten darker because of COVID. Some people I know have lost their jobs, and it's just not a really good situation. So this situation has been very tough on people, but I maintain that it's very important that people work on themselves. And it could be something as small as, if you have dry skin, put moisturizer on your skin. If you're not happy with your hair, if your hair looks a little unruly, then put a little styling in there, or straighten your hair, or comb your hair, or it's like small steps like that. All those little self-care is extremely, extremely important, and I'm a big believer of that. So, yep. So, anyway, talk to you guys later. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and I really hope that this person goes back on track, because I even told them, I said, I understand that you are letting yourself go right now, but you're I flat out told them, like, I feel like they're genetically blessed. So they should go back on track, because I know how they were before. And even though they are depressed right now, I firmly believe that they can get out of it and they can get to a better place. And I firmly also believe that they're going to be successful in life as well. No, well, here's the thing. Like, for me, when I see certain things in other people, and some people can say this, right? If someone has struggled with anxiety, or they've struggled with low self confidence, if they see another person having that same issue, then they can spot it, and they can say, hey, I know what you're going through. I have a good idea what you're going through. And I want to tell you, this is, you can possibly spend years stuck in your head, kind of thing. And whenever I let myself go, I have a pretty fast metabolism, so I've never gained weight. This person, they they are very susceptible to weight gain. So it's very important that they work out. If they don't work out, the weight just kind of piles onto them. And yeah, so when I see this kind of stuff, I feel like I want to reach out to them, because I know, hey, they've already been depressed for a period of time. It's not getting any better. I've been following up with them occasionally, and they're hanging in there. And I just felt like, hey, this is the nudge that I wanted to kind of show them, like, hey, this is how I've always seen you, and I know you've gotten off track, but I have full faith, and I hope that you go back on track, because although you feel crappy right now, I firmly believe that you will, if you take care of yourself, you will feel better, and your life will get better. It all starts from within. So when people deal with issues, right, sometimes people feel very alone and they get over those issues and they get stronger. I always feel like all the problems we go through life are learning experiences. Instead of keeping it inside, we can use that knowledge and use the experience that we've had, and then reach out to people and say, hey, I've been there before. And if you want to speak about it, feel free. Call me up, text me, that kind of thing. Because depression is something that can be very crippling, like I said, and time goes by very, very fast when you're stuck in your head. So a person's mind can be incredible. It's the stuff that can push them forward. Jordan, as I said, he had an incredible mind. He was so driven. I really thought Jordan, the person who overdosed a couple years ago, I really believed he would change the world. And he stuff happened, he got depressed, he got derailed, and his brilliant mind, I feel like it just destroyed himself, because I think part of it is that he knew where he was before, he knew his path in life, and then he felt like he screwed up, and at some point he gave up in life. And when he gave up in life, it just went really downhill from there. And that ultimately caused him to, OD alone in a car. And I think about it. I think about it. It's extremely tragic. So I share this kind of story because I hope that if people are depressed, if people see people who are depressed, it's so important to try and put the brakes on this kind of stuff. I don't want to lose anybody in my life like I like I found out about Jordan. I really truly believe that when Jordan and I last spoke, I really believed he was in a better place. And he was in a better place at that point, but when stuff started falling down and he didn't have a support system, he didn't really know where to turn to, in my opinion. And he felt lost, he felt depressed, and he only thought there was one way to alleviate his pain, and it saddens me. It really saddens me. It saddens me because when it comes down to it, he's a human being, and I feel like we should watch out for each other. We're all on the same team. We all want to see each other thrive. We all should support each other in thriving, and I don't like seeing anybody in a really bad place. I really don't. So, yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.